Good morning. It's Monday, September 19th, and that means two things. One large pizza is more pizza, mathematically speaking, than two medium pizzas, and it's time for the lighting industry news brief. In this case, this week, we are brought to you by Keystone Technologies and their Smart Loop wireless control system. You know what? This is a huge step up from toggle switches. You know what? It creates illumination. It creates dynamic spaces. You can have scenes, everything you need in one system. There's a great story about the Snake River High School customizing its gym for events, and it looks great. You can do the same for yourself. You do the same for your clients. That's KeystoneTech.com. Get that scoop in. Speaking of scoops, here's the news. Wolfspeed is planning a new material manufacturing plant in Chatham County next year. That's North Carolina. LumiLEDs has achieved some financial restructuring, adding $250 million in liquidity and keeping about 90% of their debts at bay. The BRIGHT Act has passed in Congress and the Senate, which means that once approved by the President of the United States, the General Service Administration will only be able to buy the most efficient, long-lasting bulbs they can for government-owned buildings. Ain't that great? The IRA expands your tax deductions on line 179D of the EP Act, so keep that in mind going into next year. Strong Lead is leaving the U.S. market. That's right quick of them. Lutron is expanding their factory in Virginia. Pexco has bought Performance Plastics. Clark Lindstone was inducted into the ALA Hall of Fame. Chelsea Lighting adds a location in Philadelphia. Energy-focused shares have averaged $1.16 over the past 200 days. Keeping an eye on that. Leviton plans for carbon neutrality in 2030. The Basel Fund has given scholarships to 4 KSU students for their architectural lighting education. Private Assets AG has bought Insta-Lighting. That's a German lighting buyout. EMC is the LED lighting sponsor of the Sanford International. That's a golf tournament in South Dakota. Uviton has partnered with SETI in a new UV deal. FitTech has moved into LED adjacent business, putting more emphasis on testing than the making. Ain't that something? Total Reclaim's CEO has bought the company from the previous owners. They collect e-waste and fluorescent tubes. Nominations are open for the Lantern Awards, which is for manufacturing in Louisiana. It's presented by a group called LED, but any manufacturer can enter. But if you make them in LEDs in Louisiana, do enter it. I think I want to see you win. I want to see a lighting maker win that, because it'd be great. In legal briefs, we have a settlement in Cree versus Tomar. The suit has ended with a licensing deal. Seoul Semiconductor has sued FITE. This is a continuation of a complaint from 2020, actually. And we have a new patent for Misra Faizan over at Embesys Technologies. That's based out of Irvine, Texas. This is a new device that will fit onto aircraft tray tables and blast them with disinfection light. In rep agency updates, Allied Electronics and Automation has named 5 suppliers. Acuity is back with Lighting Associates for Georgia. Current has gone with the MH companies in 4 states. And Universal Douglas has partnered with 16500. That's the name of a company. There you go. In event news, Lightfair is calling for speakers and tour guides. The IES will be hosting a webinar on LP16 on October 20th. Dali will be explaining certification at Light and Building. And Shanita Penny will be delivering the keynote at Resilient Harvests. That's November, the start of November, in Long Beach. In IoT news, Wiz has commercialized the Wi-Fi's occupancy sensor feature. Jump back to 3 years of this show when I talked about how, signal disruptions will be your aux sensor, and they're ready. They're ready to go now. Little Rock, Arkansas is getting smarter thanks to their data mining project in their smart city area. Dali Lighting Awards are open for entries until the 2nd, and Jaga has a new awards for sensors, and you can submit devices until the 16th. In recommended reading, we have The Silent Spring for street lighting. We have 7 cyber hardening measures to safeguard your smart building. Craig DeLuey on rebates evolving. We have a short bio of Lewis Latimer. Septed is working in Sudbury. If you don't know what Septed is, there's this great course on it on LS Evolve, free for members. Membership is affordable. I'm just saying, it's all working out. Scientific American calls for the end of light pollutions. We have incentives for healthy smart buildings. We have Bluetooth mesh for outdoor lighting. It is time. In market projections, we have 12% growth in energy management. We have the fixture market reaching $152 billion, 33% gains in human-centric lighting. Energy efficiency will tick up another 11%, 41% expansions for deep UV, and $3 billion projected for solar street lighting. In R&D, we have the Technical University of Košice studying lighting in windowless classrooms, trying to find the right balance for daylight simulation, user comfort, and energy use. In dark sky news, literally almost every problem you have mentally is worse if your circadian rhythm is disrupted. I don't know if we needed science to tell you that. You could just look at my life. The Merritt Reservoir has been named a dark sky park. We have the EU switch to LED, now visible from space. Ireland will be limiting hours of operation for illuminated billboards. Amerlux's pendant has been recognized by the IDA. Houston, Texas has issued a lights out alert for migration season. Fairfax County has proposed some dark sky rags. Hamilton branch of the Royal Association of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada has resumed its monthly meetings. Alan bothers wallabies. They're like kangaroos, but small. Alcoholic rats experience more liver damage under circadian disruption. Time of day is a key value in exercise effectiveness. We have some silver linings from the EU energy crisis in terms of policy for darker skies. Melatonin supplements are bad for breastfeeding mothers, and presumably the children doing the breastfeeding. And butterfly migration is undeterred by light at night, so that's some good news. Chesterfield will host California's largest indoor farm. That's 6 years of construction of facilities. And the world's largest indoor farm is planned in Pennsylvania. In People News, Paul Tudor is now the president and CEO of Universal Douglas. Kissany Trekul Petakorn has been named as regional sales manager for lighting services, as has Joyce Cassidy, presumably different regions. Michael Maltezos has joined Signify as a director and specialist. Ryan Smith, the owner of CGE, is running for city council in Thorold, Ontario. Dallas Market Center has hired Arturo Malloy as their lighting concierge, and Johan Lembra will lead IoT at Fagerholt. In local news, Perth, Ontario, LED switch is paying off. Baton Rouge, Louisiana passes a law for lighting on rental properties. Michigan State U adds lighting, upgrades existing lighting across campus. U Austin West campus is adding 600 new lights. You might remember U Austin West had just police cars with their floods on all night for a while there. New Orleans, Indiana is upgrading their downtown lighting, and Springfield, Mass will be swapping out 14,000 street lamps. In international news, we are T-minus 1 year until the EU phase out of mercury lamps. EU also proposing a new Cyber Resilience Act. The Eiffel Tower is joining French-owned monuments in reduced lighting. Lille, France, also planning their lights out ordinances. We have energy sobriety plans working out overall. That's the analysis. Thailand didn't legalize cannabis, so the demand for grow lights just dropped. Lighting chains are the most recalled fixture of the EU last year, and the town of Ebenezer in Saint Martin hasn't had street lighting in 5 years. That's Hurricane Irma, if you're keeping track. And in things you can do or build or see, we have a one-day build of a lightsaber. We have Barrie, Ontario hosting Bike at Night. It's like a regular biking event, but everyone has cool lights on their stuff. And Ben Nowick, an inventor and venture capitalist, plans to put space mirrors up for nighttime solar, like that Bond movie. I've been Scott Wachter. Thank you to Nailed. Thank you to Keystone for sponsoring us. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the music.
So this is easy living. Lips turned to glass and you peep through sunglasses. Would you look at that? See the caldera from a mythical era. Get the Fuji and take one for me. coffee on the terrace? Did you feel like an heiress, 20-something lounging by the pool? Waking up to scale, but to feel small, you gotta looking down. There ain't a big town, no. They say it at a big old height. They built everything on. And look at that sunset. Feel alive. Look at that sunset. Feel alive. Look at that sunset. Feel alive. Oh, you should awake. Seems to me we sleep, we dream. George has an airboat, and Moses' paradise. We all pay a price, no matter where you're from. Whether it's the Chinese tourists with selfie sticks, or the German tourists with the hiking boots, or Italian tourists with the Hermes bags, or American tourists singing ABBA. Yeah, but that's the way of it. He's resigned to say, at least we can be us, if only for today. Look at that sunset and feel alive. Look at that sunset. Look at that sunset.